And good morning and welcome to Touch Base Daily. My name is Ron Foster and I'm touching base with you as I do every day. How are you all doing on this fabulous Thursday? It is Thursday, June 5th. Is it June 5th already? Oh my gosh. The days are moving. The days are moving. I see Hannah's in the building already. She says, good morning, Ron and Touch Base Daily family. Good morning. So how are you all doing? There's a lot going on trending. So this is our day we talk about the news. And so we are on Trend Watch Thursday. And the apartment's getting painted on the other side. So I'm in my bedroom. And this is my new office area until they finish on the other side of the house. And so what else is new? And let me see here. Let me pop on. And I see this. I see it again. This is going to be a quiet day, Hannah. It's going to be a quiet day here in these houses here in Touch Base Daily Land. And so anyway, let me see what I can do here. Let me set. This is a slow intro. It's interesting that now, Hannah, you're always in before the notifications. Are you getting notifications out there? Because I'm hearing folks are not getting notifications. I'm hearing folks are not getting notifications from the platform. Is that possible? Is that true? And so here we are. Anyway. And let me put this here. Put this on mute. And hey, I see Aya's in the building. And here we go. I'm going to start this and let me put that in here. Let me put that up for you guys. And there we go. And done. There you go. Got to put that in the intro in the beginning since I can do that now. I like having everything on one computer now. I have to say, I usually have two screens and I'm working between two screens, but now I only have one screen. So there I am. There it is. I kind of like it. I like it. And hey, Mimi's in the building and Bryson's in the building. Bryson said, but first of all, let me get Aya on the building. Aya says, Grand Rising, Ron, Hannah, and everyone. And then Bryson says, what's up, Ron? What's up, Touch Base Daily family? What's up, everybody? Happy NBA Finals Day. Day so wicked for a good trailer drops last night. And Kiss of the Spider-Woman trailer drops as well. Bryson is our entertainment correspondent. And Mimi says, good morning, Ron and RLP family. Lisa says, hi, Ron. Good morning, everyone. So my question to everyone, are you guys getting notifications? When I pop on, are you guys getting notifications? Because some folks are saying they're not getting notifications. And I'm curious, is it them or is it YouTube? I'm trying to troubleshoot the problem. Hey, Kimmy's in the building. She says, good morning. Bryson says all the time. Okay, so Bryson is getting his notifications. Hannah says yes. And I got for IG, but not YouTube. Interesting. I didn't put anything on IG today, which is interesting. I said I got for IG, but not YouTube. Interesting. So check your notifications in YouTube to make sure you get the notification. Oh, Kimmy says she did also. Okay, so that means it's not YouTube, it's the individuals. Thank you. That helps me a whole lot. Okay, I was like, what is going on? So today is going to be a hot day in New York. It's going to be 90 degrees. It's going to be hotter than Florida. Miami is only to be 87. It's going to be 90 here in New York. And Lisa said, oh, maybe it was YouTube, but I was scrolling on IG. Yes, when it comes up on your screen, it's usually YouTube. And AS says, yes, receive notification for you. Okay, so the notifications are working in YouTube. It's just that people have not signed up for their notifications. That's the problem. Okay, Jazzy came into the workspace yesterday, and we talked and talked and talked. We learned so much about one another. I mean, that's the beauty of working in a workspace. We had a good time yesterday. And Kimmy says, now we only need a nice beach. Exactly. Kimmy, it's going to be hot where you are too today. You guys are getting 90-degree weather, so I hear. Bryson said, it's going to be hot all weekend. And we're up for another rainy Saturday. They said we're getting 1 to 2 inches of rain on Saturday. It's going to be a rainy Saturday. No, it's Photoville. We need clear weather. And Hannah says, good morning, Bryson, Leach, Mimi Hilton, Hemi Hinton, Lisa, Celia, and Kimmy. Lisa says, I am not going out today. Too hot. Yeah, I don't like the hot weather. But however, I have to go get my blood tested again because they saw an anomaly. So not something she said I should worry about, but they just need to look at she says the blood count, something with the countings or something. She said they're within parameters, but she said but I was like, you don't have a reference point. I said, you only took blood twice. So I said, you only have the first time after coming out of surgery, and then you have last Tuesday's. So she said, okay. I said, you only got a reference point, so hopefully this will, it will back up last week's blood taking. But I said, doggone, the vampires keep coming. Yes, thank you for your prayers. I keep everything transparent with you guys. And she said, I didn't open my pool yet. The weather has been crazy. It's going to be cool coming after today. The temperature starts dropping again, which is great. We can never see 80 again after this, 90 or whatever. I like cooler weather. I like 70s. That's the perfect weather. Mimi says, yes, I am getting notifications, but the feed is different. Algorithm is probably off, but we'll check it. Lisa said, oh no, that's to my blood. Yeah, she said she saw an anomaly. Nothing to worry about, she said. Nothing to worry about. I get scary when doctors say nothing to worry about. Lisa says maybe she means the norms in general. Yeah, she said they were. So it has slid from one part of the parameter to the, they have this like parameters, like between 10 and 20. It should fall between 10 and 20. And she said it moved closer to the end of one of the areas. Because most of my blood work, everything is right in the middle, or just slightly to the left, or slightly to the right. Nothing extreme. So, and I do know I am due for a fast. I am due for a fast and a reset. So I am due for that. Jazzy says, prayers up, many blessings will fall down. Yes, indeed. This says, Ron, you should have sour sup weekly just to be proactive. Sour sup. What is sour sup? What is that? I've heard it before, but I don't know exactly what it is. I've heard it from my West Indian friends. Is it something from the Caribbean? Is it a spice? Is it a fruit? Is it that ugly fruit? Is it that ugly fruit? I think it's a fruit. Don't know exactly what it is. I know it's from some island somewhere. I know it's not grown here in America. Or is it? Yeah. So here we are. Here we are. Here we are. Lisa says, oh, here it is. She says, sour sop is an amazing fruit that is said to cure cancer. Really? I try to take my Cheyenne peppers and all the other stuff. But yeah, okay, one more thing in the arsenal can't be bad. I will look into it. I will look into it. And Dr. Tachi's in the building. She says, "Hello all, hello all, Dr. Tachi. It's going to be hotter in New York than in Florida." Yes. And Lisa says, "You can go to Formigas to get it." Okay, where is Formigas? Lisa is schooling me on the fly here. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Lisa. But I'll look it up. And so after I finish with you guys, I got to get on the train, head uptown, and get that done. And these guys will be here doing their contracting, doing their work. Woo! I feel like I cannot wait till this period of my life is over. I can tell you, I am ready to just sit. I'm going to do a Lisa. Lisa is known for her just getaways and laying on the beach. I am not the beach layer kind of person, but after this January, February, March, April, May, June has been drama. I mean, not in a bad way, but it's been a lot going on. My brain is like, Ron, it's time to take a break. So I was telling Gwendolyn yesterday, I said, do you think I was saying I was thinking about working through June and then taking a break. And well, I probably will still take a break between July and August just to regroup. And then we'll come back in September. But I'll still be on the move. So on the move will take priority over Touch Base Daily. But it's still Touch Base Daily, but on the move. And so we'll see. I know you guys can't do without me. Lisa says, "Oh, that's the best. Beach life is the best. I got to do it." I haven't done beach life in ages. When I travel, I'm usually photographing and, hiking some mountain or some landscape, but I have not done the beach in a long time. I need a beach and I need a masseuse every day. So I need to go to an all-inclusive beach somewhere. Lisa says, "Ron, I will send you a link that I get 100% pure sour sap juice." Oh, thank you, Lisa. Thank you. Yes, because I'm not about the fruit, but I may like the juice. I think the fruit, if I remember, that fruit is an ugly fruit. I don't know. There's some fruit that's just ugly and I won't eat it. I can't eat it. I can't like to look at it. What's the one like that? It's called fruit. What's it? Fruit? Dragon fruit. Dragon fruit is ugly, but in a drink, it is delicious. But dragon fruit, I do not like do any of you have a food that you like, but you don't like the way it looks? Yeah. Really? Okay. I love dragon fruit. Yeah, I can't eat it because it looks so ugly, but I love drinking the juice from the dragon fruit. And it's one of those ugly fruits, at least to my opinion. Lisa said that's would be in Indonesia. They have beaches and the massages are dirt cheap. Ooh, I need to think about Indonesia. Okay, Lisa. Okay. Lisa says, silly. She says, yellow dragon fruit. I don't love the red one, right? The red one is ugly. The red one is ugly. It looks like something from a horror movie. Hannah says she loves it too. She loves the dragon fruit. And yeah, I love the juice. I love not to advertise for Starbucks, but Starbucks has a great during the summertime. I think starting in May, they usually have dragon fruit. What do you want to call it? Is it a shake? It's not a shake. Is it a shake? Like I guess it's called a drink, and it has all the little stuff in it. I love the dragon fruit drinks. Dr. Dr. Ty says, I love red and yellow, but the yellow will make your stomach run if you're not careful. Oh, really? It has a laxative. Did not know that. I always learn from you guys. Lisa, and just a fact, if you have to go to the bathroom, eat a yellow dragon fruit and watch it work. That's exactly what Dr. Tachi just said. Wow. Okay, so the yellow is dangerous. And I'm already regular. How many of we're just having trend. We'll talk about trend. There's a lot going on in the news. We'll talk about that in a moment. How many of you, I know this sounds like an interesting question to ask, but I'm asking it because sometimes I feel like the weird one. How many times a day do you go to the bathroom? Like poop bathroom, not urine bathroom, poop bathroom. How many times do you go? I go at least 3 times a day. Am I off? Am I the weird one? 3 times a day after every meal. And if I have 4 meals, it will be 4. If I have 5 meals, it'll be 5. I go every time I eat a meal. I am like a rabbit. I'm like a rabbit. Lisa's a good Lord, Ron. Good Lord, Ron. What is wrong with you? Mimi says multiples. Okay. Because I had a friend. In college. Oh, yeah, I guess it was college. And he would only go to the bathroom once a month. Not once a week. And I was like, how is that possible? How do you go to the bathroom once a week? And there's some people like that. They only go once a week or once every 2 or 3 days. How is that possible? My mom used to laugh at me when I was a kid because as soon as I ate, 30 minutes out, I'm in the bathroom. It's interesting. Lisa says at least 2, definitely shorter after my coffee. Shortly after my coffee. Yeah, coffee has a way of making your stomach like as a laxative. Kelly A says, good morning. What did I walk into? We're talking about the poop scoop. No. How many times do you go to the bathroom to poop? And he said, that's good, Ron. My dad is 95 and goes multiple times a day. He said, you got to keep it moving. It's got to flow. It's got to flow. It's like Tony Braxton. Let it flow, let it flow, let it flow. Anyway, Lisa says something is wrong with their insides because what? Exactly. I don't see how anyone cannot go. It just doesn't make sense to me. Several times a day, Hannah says. So we are on the right track. We're eating right. We eat right. If you eat right, you have to go. Because if you're eating your fruits and your veggies, and fiber, and proteins, you are going to go. Mimi says, exactly, Lisa. Exactly. Kimmy said, it's important to be regular. When you're off your schedule, something might be up. Exactly. Lisa says, but I have never in a public bathroom. I will go home from wherever. No, if I gotta go, I will go. But it's different for some of you ladies out there. But I have a trick. Public bathrooms, you gotta have a public bathroom trick up your sleeve. So, but yeah, I was just curious. So most of us eat right. Most of us in this community eat right and are on the regular. Okay, so first topic for today. Mimi says, and let me add, people who take GLP-1 meds run into issues going regularly. Really? What is a GLP-1? What is that? Ooh, I don't know what that is. Meds, GLP-1 meds. I know we have a couple of medical people in the building here, but what we are talking, what is happening in DC? Are y'all ready for this one? It is interesting. I would like to know what you guys are thinking. Not to go, but we're going to talk about politics at some point because today is that politic day. We assign one day a week where we talk about politics. Listen, public bathrooming for women is always an adventure. I used to clean women's bathrooms when I was in college as a way to get an allowance. Oh my gosh, the women's bathroom is the worst bathroom. Oh my gosh. Oh, I don't know how they do. I saw all kinds of stuff in the women's bathroom when I used to clean the women's bathroom. And I told my pops, I said, we're gonna have to think of another task for me to do. I did not last well. I did not last long being a bathroom cleaner. No, couldn't do it. I said I'd rather be poor, have no money. They said Ozempic and stuff. Oh, really? Oh, Ozempic. Okay. Yes, Lisa, all those, really. That's why you got to eat right. If you eat right, you'll lose weight. If you really eat right. If you eat less portions. That's all it is. Just eat less portions, maybe. I don't know. I know some people have gained weight because of medical reasons. But Bruce says, Boosie's is the stop. They have the cleanest by far. It used to be Starbucks. I used to go to Starbucks everywhere, but Starbucks is not that place any longer. That's why I don't do business with Starbucks any longer, because they don't. Look, well, you travelers out there, because there's a lot of travelers in this community. One of the bathrooms I would go to all over the globe, if I travel to any country, I would always look for two businesses. Starbucks. If there was a Starbucks, that meant you had a bathroom. If you had a bathroom, that meant you could also, and you had Wi-Fi. Starbucks was the place for world travelers. It was also the place for meetup. Like, hey, guys, you do your thing, I do my thing, but 2:00, we'll touch base to make sure everybody's alive at Starbucks, and then we'll go our separate ways again. Starbucks was our place. Not any longer, and the reason why is because Starbucks had public bathrooms. Now, I do believe Starbucks overseas is still different than the ones in America. I do believe in Starbucks overseas, you have to have a bathroom. Yeah. Oh, now Starbucks said, get out. Yeah, exactly. Starbucks used to be a place you hang, and that's why they lost profit share. That's why they lost money. Because people, if you're lingering, you would work. And if you were working, you would have to take a break. You would have to go to the bathroom. And then once you went to the bathroom, you ordered something. Starbucks lost market share because they got rid of people using their bathrooms. So, okay, I see Elise is in the building. Oh, I see her coming up the driveway. I see Elise coming up the driveway, and I think she's almost at the door. She is almost at the door. Oh, wait. Oh, there it is. She made it up to the door. Here she comes. Let's go. Let's answer the door. What's going on, Elise?
Hello.
Oh, wait till you start getting your sound effects on your show. Once you get those sound effects, it's just so much fun. So much fun.
At this point, since you started saying you hear the footsteps, I'm surprised you don't have footsteps yet.
You know what? Not yet. Not yet. I'm gonna get them. I can only download one sound effect a month
A
on
month.
the
Oh,
site that
okay.
I'm on. They give you one a month, so it's
That's
supposed to be 3
hilarious.
a month, but this month they only gave me one. So, but yeah, that would be good to hear the steps coming, right?
Because since you started saying that when you hear the footsteps coming up the
I think I'm
driveway,
gonna get the footsteps next. That's gonna have to write that down.
that's hilarious.
So, Elise, what's going on in your world today?
See, my world today, it's not too hectic, I got a couple of cake projects to do for someone, but not a whole lot of stuff. And I don't have any art events today.
No art events.
Not today.
Not today. Not today.
The weekend would be different, but today, no.
And Lisa's saying, I think that people should order something if they're sitting there all day working, like one drink every 4 hours or something. Well, that's your rule of thumb, but I'm a believer. If I'm going to use the bathroom, I'm going to purchase something.
Yeah,
I think it's only right.
Yeah, I believe that they should definitely purchase stuff like
yeah,
this.
purchase
just
something.
There not doing anything. Even with me, like when I go in there and people just sitting there or not doing stuff, I was like, why are they there?
Yeah, exactly. Just hanging out like it's a bus stop.
Yeah, I mean,
I like Starbucks.
We have a lot of people who do Panera bread around here.
Oh,
they're always
Panera
working.
bread, yes, that's another good place.
Yeah, they love Panera bread, and they're always working in there. We have a lot of coffee shops near me.
Jenny says, not coming up the driveway. Yes, Lisa. Yes, and then because Hannah says, good morning, Elise, and everybody's saying good morning, good morning, good morning. And the spot I go to in Brooklyn, unless you buy something, they will not give you the Wi-Fi code. That's right. I'm agreeing with that. You gotta eat, look, and you gotta do your thing. When you go to the bathroom in a place, you have to.
Right. And you should
support the business.
Yeah, if you're going into business, you should definitely support the business.
Support the business. They're helping you support your business.
Yeah.
Taking care of business. Everybody's taking care of business. Okay, so what's on the agenda today?
Yes.
The agenda today. Let me put that on the screen. And then I'm gonna have some footage as well from Instagram, from some of the Instagrammers. But this one right here, what do you think is going on in DC? What do you think about the Elon versus Trump? What do you think was going on with Elon? Now that he's against the big, beautiful bill, what do you think is happening? I have my theory, but I want to figure out I want to hear what you guys are thinking, because it's awfully strange. When we know Tesla said, dude, you need to get it together, because if not, we're gonna have to give you the boot. So we know that he has to he got to clean up his act. He has to clean up his act globally, because the globe hates Elon. And
that's true.
The globe hates Trump. So they're both hated people around the globe. And this big, beautiful bill, which is really a ugly catastrophe of a bill, if it was to ever pass. And now the congressmen and the senators are like, they're confused. They don't know whose side to join, because Elon has the money. Elon has the money and Trump has the power. They don't know who to. They're like, and someone called this early on. They said there was going to be a bro war between the two of them. And it's happening because two people with high levels of
narcissism,
arrogance, narcissistic behavior cannot survive together.
Right.
They can't. It's like a kaleidoscope. I mean, like colliding atoms. Bam, bam. They just can't, So I'm curious, what are you guys thinking about? I mean, did y'all see the Kill Bill posting yesterday that was going around on the internet that Elon posted on his Twitter? Kill Bill, the movie Kill Bill.
Kill Bill, yes.
Yes.
So Ron, the first thing you have to do is like, okay, so what is in the bill that will negatively impact him? Is it the part that the electric vehicles, whatever? This has nothing to do with else in society. Nothing. It has to do with him. And then on the other side, after you've just destroyed stuff and gotten all of the investigations erased that were taking place against you and your businesses, now you go, I'm leaving. Oh yeah, you did what you wanted, and you got people's data. I mean, it really is a game.
At least
Yes.
You hit two of them on, like, you bam, bam.
Right. People trying to make this deep. It's where it was. He came in to take data. He came into every agency had some type of investigation against him.
Yes.
The EPA, you destroy EPA so that you can go down there and pollute Memphis, the neighborhood, yes, the black neighborhood outside of Memphis. You did all of that stuff. So he's gotten the core, the big stuff, which is all these investigations.
Yes.
Off his back. That was his goal of coming in there. And so that's what he did. They didn't save all the money they were talking about. It was make all of them money. And yes, then what's in the bill? And then we don't even talk about the stupid Congress people. Well, I didn't know what was in it. Stop. We know you don't read.
Yes.
We know you don't read, but we also know that some of that stuff was brought up in committee by the Democrats, and you chose not to listen to it. You knew it was in there. So they're all continuing to lie. But what's in there, I'm sure, with Tesla, he owns Tesla.
Yes.
There was a EV vehicles. All of those things that were going to be set up would help them just as well for those vehicles, right? He wants to start doing the Tesla driverless cars in Austin, Texas.
And what's not in the bill? What's not in the bill?
Yes.
Those EVs, those electrical vehicles. His company is not in, he is not benefiting from the big, beautiful bill.
Right. And that's the thing.
So that's one.
Right.
That's one, right?
Yeah.
I need a cha-ching. Where's my cha-ching sound?
Cha-ching
Wait a minute. It's all about, it's about the money. It's about the money.
Always.
Oh, yes. It is about the the money. Follow the money.
Right. He didn't just wake up today and know that there were going to be that this country would end up with 2.4 trillion more of debt. They knew that when they were trying to force that you raise the debt ceiling.
Yes, right.
So he didn't wake up this week to figure that out. He, like you said, there are pressures on his money as well.
Yes.
He wants to stay the richest man in the world. He wants to keep that. He wants to be able to
that title.
Yeah.
But you hit something on number 2. Mm-hmm. Now, this was on Don's show this morning. Someone mentioned it. And I thought about this on 2 days ago. I said, because I had to respond. And then when I'm in these social communities, I got to put my voice on it. And I said, the question was today, did Trump get played? Did Elon plan this from the beginning? Did he plan to do what he was doing once he realized he had all this access? And he did the greatest heist in the world history of data? All of the data. What is the most important commodity in the world?
Information.
Right now.
People's information.
More important than gold, silver, diamonds, and Elise just said it. It's data. Data. Data is the most important commodity on the planet.
Right. And I mean, you know that because look at what's happening now. Now we're going to Peter Thiel, which is another South African,
Yes.
is now going to use his company to continue to harvest your data. Your data. I call it data, whatever.
Yeah, but it is, right?
They're going to continue harvesting data.
Think about the biggest heist. All those tech bros went in and got all of that information. And we don't even know where it's stored. We don't know where it lives. We have no idea where all of the data of all of us, 360 million people live in America. I do believe it's still 360, somewhere around there, 360. 300 of them, 300 citizens. And that's not only the citizens here in America, but all the people that are now also doing transactions with us around the world.
Right.
The biggest data breach, we already know it's a breach as well, but the data heist. And could it be that Elon was playing Trump all along?
Right.
I'm just a thought. It's just a thought.
He bought him for $270 million now.
Yes, he paid him. He paid him to get in there. And then, because even with the money, what's that number he paid for the elections, Elise?
$270 million.
$270 million. But guess what? The data is worth way more.
Right.
Elon made out like a bandit. Think about it, $270 million. He paid $1, less than $1 for each American.
Right.
To get their data.
Right.
Think about that. Wrap your brain around that. It's almost 75 cents per American.
Right.
Think about it.
It was a good investment
75 cents. Every person in America, and then some. Man, that was the best deal going.
Yeah. And you know, as somebody said earlier, maybe Kimmy, one of them said it, you know, they use each other. I mean,
each other.
Look at the amount of money Trump has gained since 2020 because of all that back and forth, the manipulation of markets and everything.
Yes.
He's gained billions of $2 billion, right? All that back and forth. And now it's like, how do we, and we don't, like, to be honest, how do we know this isn't the next performance on their part?
Woo, yes, it could be.
Someone said that they didn't collude on how to do this.
Yes.
I don't assume anything.
Like someone said back there, someone says they're playing us psychologically. Where is it? Someone says they're just playing us. Are they really still bros? And they're playing. Here it is. They're trying to use reverse psychology.
I may have reverse
psychology. Oh,
I'm gonna have to leave you.
Okay. Yeah. I'll see you when you get back, if you come back. But think about that, guys. They are trying to use reverse psychology. Really? If you're in the building, hit the likes. Let the algorithms know that we are doing something. We're talking real good stuff today. Isn't that something? Think about that. Think about it. The biggest, less than 75 cents. 75 cents per American. Kimmy says, but are they really that smart? Rockspot says, I'm not hitting the like button because I saved the videos you like to your phone memory. Okay. Hit the likes though. It helps us if you want to help us. And but yeah, isn't that incredible? So I just want to know from you guys, do you think this is the real deal? Is there a war brewing between Elon and Trump? Or are they playing us like some of you said? Are they playing us? Anyway, I just wanted to make sure. I wanted to bring that out. Do we have a troll in the building? Is this a troll? I don't know. I'm figuring it out. I'm figuring out. Is this a real person? Okay. Anyway, next. What's the next one? They are playing us, says Jazzy. Jazzy says they are playing us. I think they're playing us. But I do think Elon, I may have been playing Trump. But again, like you said, they played each other. Two bad people canceling out each other. TV says, never trust a con man or his benefactor. Ooh, very, very deep. Very, very yes. So I'm just saying, I think there's some craziness going on. Trump signed the bill to let information look it up. I don't know. I haven't researched that yet, so I don't know. Can't post that one. I don't know. I don't know if Trump has also signed a bill to have all Americans' private information. However, I don't put it past Trump to have given our data away or sold our data. I don't put it past him, but I can't say it because I don't know the facts. Hannah says, I believe so. Oh, we got that. Hannah says, I believe so. I believe so. And good morning. I see the good mornings. So what's the other thing? So here is something I wanted you guys, and we could talk about this together because you know how we roll. Let me get this on my little Instagram page up here because this is something that is trending also. First of all, today, okay, let me get this. Here we go. My profile. There we go. Okay, so, I always got to save my treats for you guys. And Keith, so we haven't talked about this a lot, but I just want you guys to be conscious of what's happening here in this area. Okay, hold on a second. Here we go. Let's get this on the screen for you. And the presentation is Okay, so here we go. Listen up. Oops.
You will not be able to plug in, turn on, and cop out. You will not be able to lose yourself on Skag and skip out for bid during commercials because the revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be brought to you by Xerox in 4 parts without commercial interruptions. The revolution will not show you pictures of Nixon blowing a bugle and leading a charge by John Mitchell, General Abrams, and Mendel Rivers to eat hard. You will not.
So this is about the goddess queen. She's a really interesting person to follow on Instagram. And she's talking about the largest Black-led boycott since the civil rights movement. Pastor Jamel Bryant has ignited a movement that's shaking corporate America to its core. What began as a 40-day Target fast during Lent has evolved into a nationwide economic reckoning, reminding us of the immense power we hold when we unite with purpose. $12 million a day. Black consumers spend over $12 million a day daily at Target alone. By redirecting those funds, we've spent a clear, cynical message. Our dollars demand respect and accountability. $12.4 billion loss. Since the boycott inception, Target has seen a staggering $12.4 billion drop in market value. This isn't just a protest, it's a demonstration of economic influence. Source. Next, expanding the movement. Now, attention is shifting to Dollar General, a store that thrives in low-income Black communities, but others offers little in return. Pastor Bryant is calling for an electronic protest. flooding their boxes and phone lines to demand investment in real equity. Whoa. Whoa. What are you saying to that? What are you saying to that? What are you saying to that? I mean, I showed you guys the stock price. I show you what the stock looks like for Target. The graph tells it all. The graph says it all. Right? But now, Pastor Jamal is no joke. And I am so glad to see this. I am glad to see that so many people stuck with it. And guess what? A lot of people are not going back to Target. Even if they would have said, you know what, it's over. We'll, because when you treat people wrong, it is so hard. They used to tell us when we were in school, trust takes a long time to build. However, you can lose it all in a snap. It takes years for companies to build trust. And you can lose it just like that. What are you guys feeling? What do you guys think about this title, this headline? What do you think about what's going on? Target, and now the dollar store. From Target? What is that? From Target? Oh, I'm putting it here. I'm putting a screen. From Target to the dollar store. Look at that. And I am curious, what do you guys think about this movement? And are you going to be a part of it? Are you going to be a part of this? I know I am. I don't shop at dollar store, but I am with it. I will support. I will support. Oh, it's Dollar General, right? Dollar General. Let me put that in there. Let me change that, make that correct. Dollar General. Let me change that banner real quick. Yeah, there we go. We can change that to Dollar General. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? How many of you shop at Dollar General? Okay, there we go. How many of you shop there? I do not shop at Dollar General. G says, I'm with it. She said, on my last road trip, I noticed a number of small towns only have a Dollar General or Family Dollar. Yeah. Cass says, agree. Trust is key. Takes a lot to build trust. Daddy says, I'm not against it, but I think the Target protest was easy because you have a lot of options outside of Target. It wasn't a need. For many Dollar General, it's a need. Click on the barcode is not up. Sorry, let me put the barcode up. Let me put the QR code up. Sorry, my bad. Let me get my QR code on the build in here. So that way, if you want to come on, you can, like Fifi wants to come on. There you go. Scan that, Fifi. Scan it. Pull over to the road. You shouldn't be on here and driving. So make sure you pull over to the side and then scan the QR code and you will be in. Okay. And but yes, that's the difference here, is that the Dollar General is a major resource for people all over the country. Yeah, I did not know that until I read this story. I did not know that Dollar Generals are everywhere, and they're mainly in Black and minority neighborhoods. Mainly Black neighborhoods. Did not know that. I see. He said that it's not the same kind of boycott because some parts of America, that's all they have. So we're all, yeah. And so I do believe Pastor Jamal did mention as they are moving in that direction, they said, if you can't boycott because it's the only resource for you, then do the next best thing. I do believe he said this is when you write your congressperson, write your senators, and also write the company and tell the company, since we are your biggest constituents, we are your biggest clients, we want you to do more in the Black community. We want you to do more. They are one of the biggest contributors to the Trump campaign during the Trump campaign. They were a big contributor. And they do nothing. So I've heard and read they do nothing for the Black community. They pour nothing. They give nothing at all. But yet they take out of the community in the dollars. And so, Roxy, I may have to silence you if you keep with the negative stuff on the Jews and stuff. So I will block you. I will. Let's keep it in the conversation. We do not like the trolling. Okay, I understand you got a point, but you gotta be chill. Chris says, that's not necessarily true. They tend to be in lower income regardless of race, plus in rural areas. So I didn't even know that. And Mimi says they're especially in the South. Wow. Chris, where are you? I know you're on sabbatical, getting your home together. We miss you, bro. We miss you, bro. Wow. Kat says, I have been there. The one in area has come some good holistic items. Not many others do depending on the area. Although helpful for lower income families, have to think who it will impact positively or negatively. Mimi says, but if there is a Dollar General, there is a Walmart. Mimi says there are options, but it's convenient for most. Here we go. Lisa says, I think poor neighborhoods, not just Black. Okay, thank you. Thank you for the correction. Thank you for that correction. G says, when I traveled through Georgia or to Tennessee, all I saw was a single Dollar General or a Family Dollar. These small towns didn't even have Walla World. What's a Walla World? I don't even know what that is. Wally. What is it? Anyway, I don't even know what that is. Dollar Generals are in very small towns across central Illinois, and often they are the only option. Chris is saying, Chris is not with y'all because he's unpacking his office. He's still unpacking his office. But here we are. Mimi Hinton says, my family in rural Arkansas literally has two options. One is a store 45 minutes away. The other is Dollar General, which is closer. That's it. Oh, wait. I hear footsteps. I hear them. And I think they're getting ready to hit the buzzer. Here they go. There's somebody at the door. And, what's up?
Lord have mercy. It's Wally World, man. Wally World. Come
Thank
on
you.
now.
I've never even heard of it. Wally World. What is that?
It's
I know
Walmart.
you've been educating me this week.
Walmart, or as my auntie said, Walmarts with the S.
Oh,
gotta add the S
Walmarts.
to it. Walmart.
It's Walmart. Oh.
Yeah,
was like,
Wally World.
Look,
Where you
I
been,
don't
man?
shop at Walmart.
Neither do I. But I do know how to refer to people when
I
necessary.
didn't know it was called Wally.
Yeah,
I did not know
I'm
that.
not gonna hang out here with you long, sir. But yeah, so really quick. So last year when I was going to do all the things, seeing the kids and
Yes.
stuff, driving through Georgia and Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, into Tennessee, what have you, a lot of these small towns, they are the only store. Because I'm always thinking, like, where do you guys get your groceries? Because I don't see like a what's it, Food Lion, Piggly Wiggly, Kroger, Albertsons. I don't see any of that, but there is a Dollar General or there's a Family Dollar, and they do have some, frozen goods and things, but the prices are ridiculous.
Really?
Right? I just stopped for snacks, and I was like, clearly we're not getting snacks here because I'm not paying that price. I will find me a grocery store. So we kept on driving until I found me a Kroger. It's like, I'm not buying that. But yeah, but a lot of these places, they are the only store. This is it. This is it. So I'm not saying, hey, don't protest. Convenient. Sometimes we got to learn to be a little inconvenient. Maybe get you a little garden, a little something. But I can understand how it won't be a quick, like, I don't see people going cold turkey. Because anything, when you turn off the convenient hose, people act like, I don't know how to live. And it's easy for us because we're in urban areas, like we're in the city. It doesn't take long for me to get to a grocery store or what have you, like a CVS or something like that. But in some places, these smaller towns, literally, that's not even a stoplight. It's just like you're just driving through. That's all they got. This is it. So I'm like, where are y'all working? Because y'all can't be
you take
working
a lot
here.
of road trips. I mean, you do take a lot of road trips. And you are you drive through some rural places.
Yes.
And, however, I live in New York, where I am in the capital of the bodega. We have bodegas everywhere. If we have Targets, well, some of them are closed now, and we have Walmarts out in the suburbs. But in the city, we have Key Food and Food Town and D'Agostino's and all these different places.
Yeah.
One thing about being in New York, you're really spoiled. Because again, in other places, like everyone's saying, Dollar General is the only source.
Well, if you're in an urban area,
yes,
you have access to more things. If you're in a rural area, it takes like, okay, so like my auntie lives in Belleville, Texas. It is about 30 minutes or so to get to Sealy, which is not a big town, but it's a town that has a Walmart. It has a Walmart. It's got a Sonic. It's got chicken places and a Mexican restaurant. In her spot, they got, well, there is a Sonic. They do have a Chinese place. And then there's like this Trump burger or something joint, which I'm just like, whatever. But yeah. So, depending where you are, your options are very small. So urban areas, cities do have a bigger access, and we can adjust differently. But when you're out in some of these small towns, and I mean these are small, just blinking lights, if you can get lights, then this is it. This is it. Like there is no other option.
So do you think that this the protest is doable?
Anything is doable. Anything that you want bad enough, you will figure it out. Like I said, it may not be convenient, but you figure it out. I have stopped shopping a lot of places, but I'm clear. If you don't respect me, you don't get my dollars. Like I said, haven't been to Dillard's in like forever, and that was back in the 90s.
I hear more feet. Oh, see, there's a special person. Here we go.
No, if he can get his doorbell together.
I know, right?
Get your doorbell together, sir.
Yes, you gotta give everybody the same respect of the doorbell.
I do.
There you go. Because you taught me that, Gwendolyn. Hello, where's my doorbell?
Jazzy.
Hey, welcome to the house today. Welcome into the house.
Crazy, but I I wanted to jump on because I think something that, like, I believe that the protests are possible, right? All protests are possible. And I think when I'm talking in the comments, sometimes I think it comes across as like I'm against it. I'm not against it. But I realize, like, when we talk from these places of privilege, and if you literally haven't been in these areas, you think that it's an easy thing to do. Like, saying grow a garden sounds great in theory, right? But some people don't have a yard. Some people don't have the soil and the resources to even buy the seeds. Seeds take time to grow. You don't have meat if you're a meat eater. And I think my biggest thing, like, during this protest, he does want us to call the Dollar Generals, right? And kind of make a nuisance of it, right? And I think that's a great thing. But I also think we have to acknowledge that if the calls are to get them to invest in these neighborhoods and make sure that these neighborhoods are heavily invested in, we also have to think of the fact that, okay, if they do the opposite and they're like, you know what, bye. You know what I mean? Like, what is the alternative that we are setting up for the people that are in these neighborhoods, so that if that was an alternative to happen, where is the support for these people? And I think it's easy to say, like, okay, well, you're going to be fine. But I think about it in the context of my family members, right? I know that my family members, the closest Dollar General to them is 30 minutes away. The next closest store from the Dollar General is 45 minutes away from that Dollar General, right? So for us, I have 5 stores within a 3-mile radius of me. Target was easy for me to do because Target is something I don't need. It's not a necessity, right? It's not something that I have to go into Target. I don't need anything from a Target. Right? Yeah. We need stores. We need to be able to eat. And I think sometimes talking and having these conversations, my problem isn't necessarily the protest and asking us to do these things. My question is, what is being set up on the side that we can say, if these things happen, we are there to support you. These stores go away. If something happens where the Dollar General says, you know what, you keep calling me, I'm going to jack up my prices even further. What are the alternatives that we are setting in place to make sure these things happen? Target, you could just wipe your hands of Target. That was easy to do. But in these situations, that's my only ask is, what is the other alternative? I'm totally for it. I just want to make sure that when we are having these conversations, we make sure that we are thinking of alternatives for people that are in these rural areas so that they can still be able to live and sustain themselves. Because they are already being price gouged by these Dollar Generals. Yeah. We already know that. They're definitely being price gouged by them. And the reason why they are is because Dollar General knows they don't have alternatives.
No alternative, no resources.
So we just have to, I think sometimes when we have these conversations, we have to like think of the whole picture. And I think in this situation, while I have heard him say, like, we understand that these stores are in these rural areas, I haven't heard him say, and maybe I'm wrong and maybe somebody can correct me in this, but I haven't heard him say, if this was to happen, here are the alternatives for people in these very rural areas to get the necessities that they need. Because that is important to do. So that's why I just want to jump on here and say that. So.
No, I thought I was really I knew you. That's why I brought it out. I wanted to put it out on the platform because I was like, I know that's the next movement to, I should say, the next stage of what they want to do with Pastor Jamal wants to do. And but I do remember him saying that because for so many people, this is their only lifeline for food, that they should, if they can't do the protest, like not being able to purchase something there, they should write the CEO of the company. They should also write they should participate in other ways. So that was the other alternative for it. Interesting conversation. Gwendolyn, I see you thinking.
Well, I'm reading Fifi's comments, and I know she was mentioning that the QR code. I will say this, Fifi, if I may, you can go to Ron's Instagram, and in his link tree, you can click that link in the link tree and get on the show that way as well. So if you just want to do that as Ron's co-producer, I'm trying to help him out.
Thank
What I'm
you.
saying? I'm trying to get the people on the show. You can go to his link in his Instagram and use that link, and that will get you into the studio.
Thank you.
You know, I agree with Jazzy. I know for myself, I don't my little garden is just that it is very little. I have one of the arrow gardens. I got a little petite something where I am growing my spices and what have you. But I know, like when I'm here in Houston, there has been a number of Black farmers who have come together to bring their goods and sell their goods, and there are more Black people in the Houston area, specifically South Side, that are doing these how to grow or garden in smaller spaces. So there are people in certain places that are doing community work to say, we got to come together to get through this time that we're about to get into. Again, Houston's huge. Right?
Huge.
It's a huge urban area where people can do that. How to get that out to where like my auntie lives, which is real small town Texas. Is it possible? Anything is possible. Is getting people together is where it is. And I agree, there needs to be an alternative. If this is the way to go, then you got to have something that says, here's how we get through X, Y, Z. Yeah. I don't know what that answer is. You know, I can't tell you. I know for them, just driving into Houston is an hour, right? Into Houston. So like if you're driving for a spell, then you partner up, you do some community, purchasing. I keep thinking about my granny and my dad and my auntie. I say it every time, they shopped as a family. 3 people spending money on food is cheaper than one person having to do all this by themselves. So,
well,
we go back to our old ways.
There you go. Community.
And I think, and the only reason why I'm bringing this up, because I do think we do need to get back to community, but I also think it needs to be said that I think when we look at boycotts from the past, we look at them as if they didn't have these plans in place. One of the reasons we always look at like the Alabama bus boycott, and one of the things that people leave out about that bus boycott is that it was supposed to only be a day. It lasted a year, right? But the ability for it to last a year was because the people in that community said, okay, I know that we have the ability, we have cars and we have these other resources that we can use, and we're going to come together as a community, just like what you're saying, and say, we're going to drive these people to work. We are going to make sure that they have groceries. We're going to make sure that they're good. And I think but that was a very isolated event, right? Like it was in an area. It was in a very
isolated. It's one city. It's in
so when we're calling for these national protests, I want to hear from the people that are calling from them, hey, I understand that a lot of Dollar Generals are in these very rural places. And these are the things that we are setting up right now to make sure that if anything happens, we have boots on the ground in these places. Because to me, you can say it out loud, right? But I think when you're in it, it's easy to say because he is from an area where he has the options to go to, all the wherever else is available. And so I think it needs to be said, if you're going to be a leader of these protests and put these things out there, you also have to have the thought of, okay, in Texas, we have these people. In Arkansas, we have these people. In this area, we have, because these are in very small cities and it's doable. I just need it to be said by the people that say they're the leaders of these movements. Because if you're not going to say that and you're not going to provide that context and you're making these decisions on behalf of other communities, right, without having the ability to be in that community and saying, is this a realistic thing for us to do in this way, right? Where my family lives in Arkansas, they literally have a post office that opens at 8 a.m. and closes at 10:30 because they only have 100 people in town. Literally, there's 100 people in this town. Actually, 96 people in this town.
Why?
So I think when we're having these conversations, and honestly, as a person, when I was there, it made me understand it more, because when you hear about it, it's one thing, but when you're actually in these places and you're like, dang, you mean it actually takes like literally 30 minutes for me to go one way to a store. I remember being there, being irritated because I was like, oh, I want to go to the store. And they were like, okay, we can make a day out of it. And I'm like, a day?
A
Like,
day.
why are we making a day out of going to the store? Like, we have to start understanding that's the mindset of what is going on in these areas. And I think this is on the greater scale. I think this is what happens in the bigger elections too. A lot of these bigger cities, we speak for smaller towns, and we're not understanding the need of these smaller towns, because the need for them is very different than the need it would be for us in these urban areas. So we have to, I just want them, when they're making these calls for these protests, to fully think out what we're doing and how we're doing it and how it's being communicated, and who do you have. If you're working with the NAACP in these areas, if you're working with, the Color for Change in these areas, there are organizations that you can work with in these areas to make sure that this is happening on a succinct level. But just calling for a boycott without really thinking about the impacts that it's going to make in the rural areas, even when you say that it is going to make an impact, because again, I'm not saying he acknowledged from the start that in rural areas it's going to be harder. That's why he said he wants phone calls for it. But I just think that, like, he acknowledged it and he's saying it out loud, but he's not saying the next step of it, which is, and here's how we are supporting you in that.
Yeah.
And that needs to be said. So
you are Jazzy. That's a good point. I mean, again, a lot of cases when we live in our, wherever our bubbles are, we all live in different bubbles around the country. We don't see outside of our bubbles in a lot of these cases. And I thought about, but I would have never thought about those small towns. It's always sad to me when I'm reminded that the folks exist. And when I say small towns, I'm talking about like what you're saying, 100 people. I mean, we forget that there are towns in America that there's 100 people, less than 1,000 people. There's all kinds of population centrals in America. And we in the big cities, we forget that. I know I forget it often. And but this was a good reminder. That's why I love these conversations, because we remind us of different truths that are truth, not lies, not made to be true. It is true. Gwendolyn, what are you giggling about?
I just like how you say, like, we forget, you forget. Gwendolyn knows.
I'm saying we.
knows.
I said we in the cities. We in the cities.
I'm in the city.
I'm in the city. You say no real city. Dallas ain't no real city. No,
first of all, okay, so and you were correct, because it is the Dallas-Fort Worth metroplex. So you are correct. I don't see Dallas, but even in a Dallas and Fort Worth, what have you, in those urban cities, there are communities, neighborhoods that are food deserts. That don't have the grocery store. So again, the Dollar General becomes their place to get groceries. So it's not just the rule. It's a bigger thing. It's just across the board. You know what? I don't have the time to talk about exploitation today, right? We ain't got the time today because I got to get some other things.
We can do part 2 tomorrow, but not today.
and just to piggyback on what Gwendolyn just said, I think people forget. I don't know if y'all remember during the shooting that happened in Buffalo. What people don't understand about that was they wanted to close that store. My sister lives in Buffalo, right? They wanted to close that store, and that store is the only store in that area. I remember
reading that.
It was the only store in that area within like a 15-mile radius. And so again, that's why I say I think sometimes there's things being put into place, and I think he's speaking to it a little bit, but I don't think when you're trying to, I don't want to say trying to be the leader, because he is saying it, he's voicing it, right?
He's
but
leading.
He's
leading.
Right. And when you're putting yourself in that position, I do think you have to make sure that you have the communication in place in these areas to make sure that, you want people to call, but let's be real for a minute. people barely call when they see something in their neighborhood that they don't want. They're not going to call, you know what I mean? So I like, again, it's not to say that I don't think that it should happen. I very much think that it should, but I also think that it's like we have to communicate clearly to people that you're saying you want to do this, what it is you want, and how I'm going to make sure that when you do these things, if there are any ramifications for it, I'm going to be there to help you make sure that you don't fall in the process. It's going to be uncomfortable. I can tell you that it's going to be uncomfortable, but I can help you in your uncomfortability and make sure that we are all working together so that we can stretch for the common good. But just saying go and boycott and go and call these people and inconveniencing yourself in the process without having any alternative, that's something that we need to really just have a discussion on. I think it has to be said. So
you bring up a good point, and it's in remembering when we think back on history and the civil rights movement, and when they did boycott, or when they did shut, they got on the bus and went to a certain section, or they went to a restaurant, and sat at the counter. It wasn't one person that just came up with the idea. It was a team of people looking at all aspects and different ways of how this was going to affect the Black community, or affect the Jewish community, or affect whoever's communities they were that were involved in the civil rights movement. But it was many people coming together at the table. We look at the have you ever seen the movie Rustin? And the Rustin movie, you see them, they're all strategizing. Everyone's even they're bumping heads, they're arguing, they're like, you have to have a circle of people having conversation, and then in the middle it becomes the wisdom of it all.
Right.
And the butting of the heads is necessary also. That's part of coming to a consensus and saying this is what's going to work for the masses. So this was a good conversation.
Yeah.
Good thought.
Sure.
Hey, we got two topics in. No, you look great, Jazzy. Jazzy. As a matter of fact, for y'all, yesterday was us yesterday, but we were in our workspace, and Jazzy was in the workspace. So, I mean, we could do this in the future. Gwendolyn has an amazing workspace that she has on Go Brunch on the platform. And so some of us are working from home. Some of us are entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, and we work in an office, but we still we want to be connected with someone while we're working. And we are really working, but we're having conversations like this and kind of like just working and doing our thing. So you want to give them your destination, Gwendolyn, or your Go Brunch?
Yeah. So on my YouTube channel under posts, there is a place where it says every Thursday. It's actually every day. I'm just in there, but it's a place to just come in. If you are a solopreneur, freelancer, what have you, you just come in and chill. You can do your work and do whatever, but you don't have to work alone. None of this in terms of life has to be alone. Mm-hmm. You can be with people. You can come in and just vibe out. You can just listen. You can throw in your 2 cents. You can find out that Ron, his black card has been suspended. So we are, we are in the spot.
We ain't going there. We are not going there.
We're in the spot, just having a free-flowing conversation. You don't have to come and stay the whole entire time. I say it's 1 to 3, but actually, I'm just in there. I'm just literally in the space all the time, just hanging out, working on stuff, listening to music, and people kind of come and go as they see fit, but you don't have to do anything by yourself. We are a community. Come roll through, do what you do. And but if you look in on my channel under post, it is work and chill is what it's called. Work and chill co-working hour. So yeah,
man, what a great conversation, guys. Thank you so much. Gwendolyn, as usual, Jazzy, as usual, you guys bring wisdom everywhere you go. Everywhere you go, you bring some wisdom, and I appreciate you. So thank you so much. And I see all the comments. You guys are really chiming in today, and you guys are giving great insights. And thank you, Fifi. Fifi, we're gonna have to make sure that you are on the. I gotta put you on the list so that way I can just click on it and go to you and send it to you. But we got to talk about your QR code reader. So there we go. And Lisa said, I could be wrong, but these small town folks should be planting gardens. There is a lot of land. We can get seeds to these folks. Jazzy is right. We need a plan just in case Dollar General folds. And Cass says, definitely was thinking same thing, G. And so I see all that. There's a lot. I could go on and on, but there's a lot to be thought about with this protest and how it affects people. But again, what if Dollar General decided they didn't want to be in business anymore? What happens to all these places?
I don't think they're going to do that. I honestly, the Dollar General.
Right. I mean, it's their main source. They are one of the wealthiest businesses in the country, based in these areas.
Yeah.
Anyway. Okay.
They know that.
Okay.
That's why I'm like,
I like that. I like that. Okay, I'm letting the ladies leave. I'm going to do my advertisements, and then we're out. Yeah, bye, ladies. Bye. Bye. Anyway, that was good. That was a good conversation. And so here we go. I just want to make sure I get my banners up there. Here we go. And just so you know, make sure you join our email list. And that will help us stay in contact with you along the way. And again, new services, updates, and industry news, and monthly trends, and all that good stuff. Also, with that, we also have our wonderful I Am an Event Photographer. So if you are looking for an event photographer, give them my name. I will love to photograph your event, whether it be commercial or residential, corporate or personal. Okay. And also, thank you every day. Thank you for the Patreon members. Thank you for those that support this community and this channel. And thank you for subscribing. But most of all, thank you, Patreon members. Your support helps us create amazing content. Is because of you. You pay the bills. You support what we do here. I appreciate the Patreon folks. And thank you. We got another Patreon member this week. Just in the last 30 days, we've gained 3 new Patreon members. So become a Patreon member. And also all of the tips we do, everything we have here, we share it on Patreon. So that way you can get any of the tips on Patreon. You can get our photography tips. You can get our Motivation Mondays. You can get whatever we're talking about right there on Patreon. It all lives in the Patreon community. That is our headquarters. That is our hub to make sure that this works properly. Okay, guys, thank you so much for joining me today. We had a lot of great people popping in. We had an explosive amount of people in the building today. And also we did have a troll, and I had to block him at some point because once you start crossing the line of, accusing people by race and color and all that stuff, that's, like I said, and I gave him a warning. I gave that person a warning. Don't do it. Don't do it. Well, he did it, or she did it. Whoever they are did it. They're gone. And she says, great show today. And Kaz is there. We do too. Forever blocked. Yes, right. He is blocked. And she, Lisa said, when we never thought Blockbusters, Bed Bath & Beyond, and others would fold either. As long as you stay ready, you don't ever have to get ready. Lisa, speak that wisdom. Okay, guys, thank you so much. And wish me luck. Pray for me as I go get my blood test for a second time to solve the anomaly. Okay, guys, see you on tomorrow. Tomorrow's Focus Friday. We'll be talking about accounts that inform and also encourage and inspire. Okay, guys, see you tomorrow. Later. Hello, and thank you for joining us today. Make sure you hit the like, the subscribe, and leave a comment on this video. I would love to hear from you. Thank you again. Until I see you next time.